podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Christian Moore back to Jack Goodchild on the blue line. He manages to get it right to Jacob Minter. Jack Goodchild with the shot! And the Wildcats have taken the lead on the power play with 23 seconds remaining as Jack Goodchild has Kane Russell with the shot for a goal. No need to save from Lordo. And Cameron finds himself in! And it's 3-1 to the Chelsea Chieftains! They have hit back quickly! Hello and welcome to Zero Pucks Given, the UK ice hockey podcast, hosted by me, Ben Hyde.
And me, Katelin.
We almost went a little bit off-piste ice hockey there just before recording. We
were
talking about the news and the political stuff. We are not going to touch on that in this episode.
No, sports and politics do not belong.
No, we keep them separate here exactly the way that we like it. So we have a little bit of an apology because there was no episode last week, was there?
Yes. Partly my fault, partly Ben's fault,
yeah,
partly just life.
Really align, and unfortunately for that episode we were planning to have a really cool phone call with Lucas Smittle after the Slough Jets won the Britain Cup. Congratulations to the Jets for that fantastic win over the two legs, and that didn't record either, so everything kind of went up in smoke last week, and
we just didn't do nothing.
But then that means that this week we've got like a bumper week. We'll have 3 episodes coming out this week, so we'll have the live podcast festival recording. Yeah. From Sunday before last, that's probably actually out now, thinking about it, timing-wise. And then we'll have, obviously, this, where we're going to chat about everything that's gone on in the last couple of weeks. And then we've got the brilliant episode with Seth Bennett, who was the BBC commentator for the Winter Olympics that we've just watched, and the 3 previously as well, which was great. I really enjoyed that. It
was really, really enjoyable, which we probably actually didn't talk about commentary much at all on it, did we?
No.
We spoke more about his coaching career.
But yeah,
definitely.
That was really, really good. But yeah, so coming back from that week then, we'd like to say thanks for everyone that came to the recording of the Essex Podcast Festival.
Yeah.
It was a good laugh, wasn't it? I enjoyed it.
I really did enjoy it, yeah. It's completely new to me. But no, I did enjoy it. Yeah,
it was good to see a few people coming out. And it was obviously the first time that we'd done anything face-to-face as well, which was...
Yeah, it's the first time we'd met.
Well. Yeah.
Which,
that was different.
Yeah, it was different. But the people that were running it actually said they couldn't believe that we'd never met.
Yeah, I did say to one of them, actually, to be fair, that's been levelled at me quite a few times, actually. We've had guests on the podcast, and then someone will say to me, how long have you two known each other? Oh, I've never met.
Never met. No, spoke since the podcast. We spoke once before we filmed our first ever pod.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. No, to be fair, I think that just kind of proves that we're both half decent at doing this, actually. We can make it comfortable. We can make comfortable conversation. So on the Cup winners then, I pretty much think that we predicted it all correct.
I think, yeah. Well, I definitely predicted our league correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, Slough, they won 3-0 on the Saturday night. You were there, of course, for the first leg. Streatham came very close, winning 2-0 in the second leg, but just not quite enough.
Not close enough, no. Which I sort of thought that would sort of be the way it was. Streatham would obviously go in hard on the Sunday night, but I just think Slough would have just defended well as they did. But I don't know, I thought Slough would have netted 1 or 2 more, but obviously Streatham with a stronger side, but just not strong enough to win it.
No. And in North 1, the D-side Dragons came out on top against the Telford Tigers.
Yeah.
15-12, I think, in the end. As
Anthony
Russell said, why defend when you can not defend?
And yeah.
So fantastic entertainment for everybody in D-side and Telford, which is not actually that long a trip between those two, actually. I think it's only about just over an hour between Telford and D-side, so that's not too bad for everybody travelling between them. And then in the Laidler, Sutton Sting, brilliant tie that against the Billingham Buccaneers. I do want to give a massive shout out actually in the Cup to the Telford Tigers too, who put a stream out of the Cup final and were having issues with the stream, so they refunded everyone that had paid for it and put it on YouTube for nothing.
YouTube, yes.
Fair play for that. That's brilliant. And Billingham Buccaneers, they did exactly the same thing. They streamed their second leg with the Sutton Sting on YouTube for free, which was brilliant. I actually enjoyed watching it through that when it went.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great way to just, let people that can't make it watch it, but also not have to pay for it. I think it brings more people in.
Yeah, I think at the time when I jumped on the Billingham Buccaneers stream, I think it was like 450 people watching.
Exactly.
Which is terrific.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, so, and like I said, it was a really entertaining game. Went to penalty shots in the end, and Sutton Sting took the trophy. And then in the Wilkinson division, the Peterborough Phantoms, they did enough against the Guildford Phoenix over the couple of legs. So it's always been them two, isn't it, in the past few years, going head-to-head for pretty much all the trophies. Might see something slightly different in the playoffs this year in the Wilkinson because there's a number of strong teams in that.
Yes, there is.
And then before we get to this week's games, you were once again in Slough on Saturday week.
Yes, I was.
Country night, yeah!
Well, I just saw it was country night, and I thought, do you know what? Let's have a bit of fun. And yeah, got my cowgirl hat ordered, and there I was.
I think I've seen some of the pictures. Oh, you did the Man of the Match award as well, which is great.
I did.
It's a great bit of exposure for us as much as anything, to be fair.
Yeah, it's always just nice to get a nice photo as well.
Yeah, and anytime the podcast gets mentioned in any rink, I mean, that kind of thing just touches my heart and blows my mind at the same time. I just think it's incredible for the podcast to get mentioned in any game. But I think even the Canucks coaches kind of took part, didn't they? They was wearing the shirts and the hats and stuff.
Honestly, the Cardiff fans came in clutch with it. Every Cardiff fan had some sort of cowgirl, cowboy sort of vibe to them, and it was brilliant. But when I saw the coaching staff having the cowboy hats on, I was like, that's great. I was like, Slough, this is your country night. Why are you not? Why is there no?
But the home bench weren't cowboyed up.
Ooh. No, honestly, Cardiff really showed them up.
That's poor form. That very poor form. So we'll jump in then to the games that took place in the Britain division this weekend, because we are coming into. I'm running out.
It's like the countdown.
Yeah, and it's quick. We're down to 3 weeks left now.
I know, and I remember you saying I think on my second episode that we've got plenty of time till Christmas, and here we are.
Yeah. 3 weeks out from the end of the regular season.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the battle throughout the league, especially at the top, is really exciting. And then that middle gap, because the playoff positions are not confirmed yet. They're not confirmed, and I don't think they will be anytime soon. It's going to be a last match decider, I think. Yeah. The only one that is confirmed, unfortunately, is Cardiff Fire.
Cardiff, yeah.
Down in 8th, that is confirmed that they will face the eventual league winners. But I was just looking at the playoff bracket just before we started recording, and I'd said a couple of weeks ago, finishing second in the league is not only, you don't want to finish second because you want to win the league, but finishing second gives you the hardest playoff route to get to the Steel City Showdown, because at the moment you've got to get through the Solent Devils.
Yeah,
and then you've got to get through more than likely the Streatham Redhawks just to make Sheffield, where you're probably then going to come up against Slough or Chelmsford, depending on what finishes there. So it's the playoff bracket in this division is looking incredibly difficult, and it should just be incredibly entertaining.
But then it's never nice to see teams leave a league, but when you've obviously got 8 teams in a league, it means they're all going to go to the playoffs, but it makes it more exciting in a way.
Yeah, kind of. I think this actually could have been a real opportunity for them to go back to what they'd originally discussed to do a couple of years ago when we went to 10 teams. Mm-hmm. They were talking about 6 teams qualifying for the playoffs and then doing 2 groups of 3, a little round robin and then a semi-final. I think this could have been an opportunity to actually bring that back. Yeah,
because you would have had the same sort of structure last year, just different, and obviously with only 6 teams,
And then there would have been some real jeopardy for those top 6 places to qualify for the playoffs.
Mm. Yeah, because you sort of lose in that, not competitiveness, but if you finish bottom, you're going to qualify anyways.
But you are going to play the league winners, so
league winners, which is
not
hard.
Going to go.
Yeah, probably not, but still, it's still not like you're not fighting for it.
No.
You haven't got an aim, pretty much.
But then, so to the league games then, from the weekend just gone, the final Saturday of February, which incidentally, in the National League, we know we've already got one title winner in the conferences in Blackburn Hawks that won it the week before the Cup final, but the National League title has also gone in February.
Gone, yes.
So Swindon Wildcats. Whoa, anyway, I can't remember the last time someone won it this early.
Well, it's not that, just Swindon deserve it. Like, they've had such a great season. Like, they've just absolutely blown it out of the park.
They have been the best team by far.
Yeah, by far. So they deserve absolutely everything. And, you know, if you can win it early, do it.
Yeah, I suppose it does get it done now, and they can actually now prepare for that playoffs, which is, you know, that setup with the 2 group stages and the round robin games. You know, that's a hard slog of that 2-3 weeks of postseason hockey.
Yeah.
Or getting to the Coventry weekend. So, yeah, that's congratulations to the Swindon Wildcats for taking the National League title. But let's jump into the Britain Division then. And on the Saturday, the 28th of February, we'll start down at Romford, where Streatham took a little trip down there and kind of
blew away with it.
Yeah.
Sort of, I don't know. I think Romford are still, you know, they have really pulled away from their start of the season form, which the points in the league show. But when you're still going up against a team like Streatham, it's just crack show. And I think as well with Streatham just desperate to keep in this like title run, because they are obviously the bottom of the 3. They needed to lock in, as you say, and they did.
Yeah. I mean, knowing it was going to be a full weekend, playing Romford on the Saturday and then welcoming Chelmsford on the Sunday, this is kind of like the ideal performance for them, actually, because I could imagine, respectfully, they could have treated this like a very competitive training session where they could run the lines the way they wanted to on the Sunday, like a prep for it. But they're just so dangerous, Streatham. Every time they come forward, they're just incredibly dangerous. And that nice big pad at the Sapphire, I'm sure they'd have made plenty use of that. Luther Brittle getting a hat trick, Danny Inglesby getting a hat trick. So the top players getting in amongst the goals and putting them away at that kind of frequency. They're always a dangerous.
And I think we say this all the time. Like, every single player in that squad has so much talent, and that's what's hard when you're a team like Romford, when you've got obviously really young players and experienced players. It's good, but when you've got such a solid team like Streatham, it's just hard to go up against.
Yeah, I think the scene was set quite early with Alan Latt getting a goal just after a minute. Ryan Watt doubles it up. Danny Inglesby makes it 3 before the 10-minute mark, and then another one from Inglesby and a late one from Brittle, all in the space of about 30 seconds. 5-0 at the end of the first. The writing's kind of on the wall there.
Yeah, of course it is.
Unless you're Widnes this weekend, I think Telford, who came back from 5 down and forced overtime, but yeah, that seldom happens. But yeah, a terrific performance from Streatham, and after a little bit of a wobble, after we'd said that they'd locked in, they then wobbled. Seemed to be locked in.
Yeah. Well, don't say it, because they might have another wobble.
Yeah, see, now I don't want them to wobble now. Now I want them to be locked in.
Yeah.
But a little split in the net for the Buccaneers. Owen Ryder taking 25 minutes and Tom Adams taking 34-16 for the guys there. Danny Milton back in nets for Streatham. We've not seen Milts for quite some time. I think he's been out with a little bit of a knock, but he took the full 60, facing 21 shots for the Streatham Redhawks. There was another game on the Saturday as Invicta made the trip along the M4. They were having another away weekend. But noticeably, I don't think they did what they did last time, where I think it was actually Cardiff and then Swindon that they did, and they stayed out. And they won in Cardiff, and then they went for a 5 guys, and I think they might have had a few beers, and then they lost in Swindon on the Sunday. But yeah, Swindon jumped back on it here. And the Coastal boys just running the show.
They quite literally run the show. I think as well, like you said, it's getting really close to the end of the season, and these playoff places are tight from 7th, 6th and 5th. Swindon were like running the show at the start of the season. They're obviously, everyone wants to keep it up, but they've really got back into their form, and I wouldn't put it past them finishing 5th if they want to. But no, this game, it's sort of a weird one, because I think Invicta are set at 4th. That is, I think, the only definite place that is sort of set, I think.
Apart from Cardiff.
Yeah, apart from Cardiff. So there's obviously they want to perform, but if they're set, they're set. Like,
yeah, I suppose you can just.
Do you see what I'm saying? Like, obviously, no matter where you're set in the league or what, you give 100%. But Swindon probably have more fire in their belly because they know they've got to fight for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and they're still, looking to get a lot of players back. The Dynamos, they're incredibly short again. 12 skaters, I think, at Swindon on the Saturday night. They've called up Rhys Evans from the Cardiff Canucks as well to back up in nets. Nikolai Deval took the 60 minutes, but he was backed up by Evans. But the experienced players are the ones that are kind of, coming through for them. Ashley Jackson, Aaron Connolly, as usual, among the goals. Danny Gatenby's had a really, really good season as a first-year import for him.
Yeah, he's been a great signing.
Yeah, been really, really good. But I think Forshe's boys, this looks like, especially if you look through the stats and the timings of the goals and that, it looks like a really competitive game.
Yes.
And an entertaining one to watch. And it always kind of brings a smile to my face when you see the score sheets of Jan Kostel Senior, Jan Kostel Junior. I think that's brilliant.
Yeah, but I said this previous in the season, like, this fixture is a fixture that experienced hockey fans need to go and watch because it's always a tight game. Like, I went to the one at Invicta where it was like a 1-0 win to the Dynamos. It's just, you need to appreciate the talent that's in front of you. And again, it's sort of proven how close these two teams are in talent. But yeah, it's just obviously Swindon just had it on the night. Yeah.
And we know we had a couple of weeks ago when you went to Oxford against the Warriors that we had George Beckett and Chris Beckett on opposite sides. What would be the odds on perhaps Jan Kostel Jr. going across to Oxford and then maybe playing against his dad next year? I think that'd be amazing.
That'd be so cool.
Oh yeah, that would definitely have to meet up and go to that game. That'd be amazing. And Ben Clark Leach taking the full 60 and announced today that Ben is actually on a two-way with the Bristol Giants now.
Yes, which is just he's just different, isn't he?
Yeah,
he has got such. If like we spoke about this actually with Seth Bennett, if he keeps this mentality that he can keep going, he's going to make it.
Yeah, I mean, fair. Obviously, last season was Swindon's first season in the league.
Yeah.
Or back in at this level after having the issues with the Link Centre and whatnot, and then they've sort of come back and jumped up a league. I did wax lyrical about him quite a bit last year because he was just an incredible young talent that was coming through, and all the minutes he was getting he was really showing himself. But this season it's just been something else.
Yeah, he's just really completely levelled up.
Yeah, and to go from. Literally a couple of weekends ago, you watched him play for GB, and the following night I watched him play for Swindon in Chelmsford.
Well, I watched him play, like, be in goal against Cardiff Fire, and then watched him be on the bench against Ukraine, Slovenia, and all of that lot.
Yeah,
so it's just crazy.
Yeah, so he's fantastic stuff for Ben. Hopefully, he gets some minutes for the Bristol Belfast Giants. Beg pardon, taking the place of the last. Goalkeeper they called up on a two-way was Petr Cech.
Yeah.
Slotting in there where Petr left an open hole. So to Sunday, and Solent Devils, this is their final rearranged game because they had that period, obviously, where the rink was closed and they had to get this done. And this game, considering now that they're playing each other again this weekend, this is for the playoff bracket.
Yeah, this is massive.
These two can actually go like that, which is really, really big.
There's literally a point between them at the minute. So that's after this game, which, again, that 5 p.m. face-off on a Sunday, you're getting to the stage now where you're queuing up and it's still daylight outside, and then you get into that lovely little rink and the atmosphere. I wouldn't call it lovely. As much as I love it.
The atmosphere's lovely. It's bubbling away, the atmosphere's in there and whatnot. And, it just looks like a cracking game. Alex Wicks gets the opener for the Romford Buccaneers, and Devils come back with Jack Peacock. Charlie Wedge puts them up, and then it's a little bit about momentum, and they start knocking goals in.
Yeah.
Until Colin McCluskey takes a power play goal, quite late into the game. And I could imagine then that Ethan's probably got them. The pressure is just so high. I think we've got 5 minutes, just push them. But Alex Murray managed to nick a goal at the end to make it 5-2. Only 4 goals for Alex Murray this year. That's quite a low tally for him.
That is low, yeah. But then, he's probably it's been a tough season for Solent. I mean, them being second bottom of the league is tough enough. They're having all the injuries, he's probably had to manage a bit.
Minutes than he won.
Yeah, than he probably wanted to be doing.
And as much as I love Muzzer, he ain't getting any younger either. He's got to do more minutes. on the ice as well as on the bench. A little bit of a pernickety game. Looking at the penalties, there was a lot of disagreements, particularly into the third period. A lot of stuff going down, but yeah, I mean, always an entertaining game between two teams that like to go forward and play in really good systems as well. So that's given us an entertaining game, which I'm sure we'll get again this week when they meet in the prostate cancer charity game for the Silent Devils, where they're going to blue the rink down there. They've got a sky blue jersey.
Really lovely jersey.
It is really, really nice. The guys at Dynamis that do the Devils jerseys do hit the mark pretty much all the time. Yeah, which is good to see. But yeah, now that, as you said, this 5-2 victory for the Devils, that leaves them a point behind the Buccaneers. And now they face each other again this weekend, and then Romford actually go to Chelmsford, I think, on the Sunday.
Sunday, yes.
So, potential there that Romford could have a no-point weekend, and the Devils could, really put a gap there then. And that then again kind of lines up for the person who's going to finish second in the league. You're kind of thinking, well, would I rather play Romford over two legs than Solent? Absolutely, I don't really want to.
Would.
That's what makes it all so exciting in the playoff bracket. And to be fair, if Chelmsford were to finish second and not top, and I do like a Chelmsford-Romford playoff game.
Yeah, but personally, I'd like a Chelmsford Solent playoff game. That would be brilliant.
Romford always bring it for Chelmsford. They always bring it.
Mm.
And then on Sunday, the Streatham Redhawks, they hosted the Chelmsford Chieftains. Another sellout at the High Road. They've been flying down there with the tickets. Absolutely brilliant.
Which is so good.
Now, including TalkSport presenter Katie Shanahan, who's a former England hockey player, like field hockey. So I joked with her this week that she was getting into proper hockey.
Proper hockey, the better of the two.
But yeah, that's great. Not only are they sort of getting, loads of fans in and selling out, but to get attention from, that level of British sports media as well is really, really good.
It's really, really good, yeah.
And they put a show on as well for this big sellout crowd.
They did. And I'll tell you what, it's sort of what I said to you, privately as well. When Chelmsford have something in their hands, they can't hold it. And it was like that on Sunday. I literally messaged you. I was like, it just doesn't go their way when it's in their hands. Because they were ahead.
So as we get through the games, we'll get to the next one. But at one point, Chelmsford were a goal up, and Slough were 2 goals down.
2 goals down.
To Swindon.
So that's why I was like, they've got it in their hands. When it was like this in the cup, they didn't keep it, so what is going to happen?
Yeah, and it's such a backwards and forwards games that... And so Cameron Bartlett puts the Chieftains ahead. Fantastic points record so far for the Bartlett brothers, as they are every year. And then when we talk about momentum, Harvey Stead's equaliser, 55 seconds from the end of the period, that's a game changer.
That's a game changer. It's then who sort of scores the next goal.
Yeah.
Who scores in that next period and how quick.
But then they both kind of they fly in the face of that, really, which is what these teams do week in, week out.
Yeah.
Fly in the face of that sort of stuff. Because Jared Lane puts the Redhawks back ahead on the power play on 32-24, and then the Chiefs get on the power play and Sasha Maltsev makes it 2-2. A couple of minutes later, and then you're thinking, right, now it's the next goal. But again, it's about timing. And 36 seconds into the period, as Danny Inglesby makes it 3-2. That's a great time to score.
Great time to score. But again, it's who scores next. And I think if Streatham were to have scored next, it would have been game over then. But it weren't game over because at 55, Cameron Bartlett scored to make it level again. Yeah.
And then it was, again, a late one, 57-28. Dan Rose gets the winner. I've seen a couple of angles of it. Brandon Stones is going to want that back all day long. He is going to want that back. It was like a playoff goal. It was a dirty little rebound. And he just picked up the rubbish in the crease, and it kind of ricocheted up and over the pad, and it almost kind of fell out of the glove and just dropped over the line. It's a horrible goal to concede.
But a great goal to score.
Yeah, a great goal to score for Streatham. And they've, the last couple of times these two have played in the High Road, the time before this was that Challenge Cup, and it got to the late stage where Streatham knew they had to win in regulation, and they pulled the goalie, and they got that goal.
They got that win in, yeah.
And that psychological... Like you say, it's almost like it's a psychological barrier, and Streatham are on one side of it and Chelmsford on the other. And it's when they're chasing, they can get over that barrier. But when they've got to hold it, it's holding it psychologically.
They just can't. And I don't think it's just Chelmsford. I think a lot of teams, it's more pressure, I think, when you've got to keep hold of it. Because if you fight for it, you've got fire in your belly, like you want it. Whereas when you've got it, you're like, oh, like I've got it already.
But
even if you don't.
The fear of losing it rather than the...
Yeah, it's the fear, because you're going to lose it, whether more than I'm excited to get this.
Yeah, I mean, I've not, because of my many ailments, I've not really played competitive sport for years.
I never have.
No, so I understand it. It is easier to chase. 100% it is easier to chase. It's something I struggled with actually as a boxer, because when you're a solo sportsman and you haven't got a team with you and it's literally one-on-one, all of that stuff goes out the window. It's just literally a fight. But the idea of chasing something, I think it's definitely psychologically easier to chase than it is to hold on. So the 4-3 win to Streatham has now put Chelmsford back in that chaser mindset.
It has, yes, which could really do them good.
Which, as I say, with the games coming up in the next couple of weeks, it could certainly make a bit of a difference. Fairly quiet penalty-wise as well for a game between these two. So a 4-3 win for the Streatham Redhawks, and it just lights up that top three battle now, I think, for weeks. Brett Shepherd taking the full shift for the Redhawks. Milt's not even in the side that night, so maybe he aggravated himself a little bit.
Aggravated more, yeah.
And Brandon Stone's taking the full game for the Chieftains, aside from a 20 seconds empty net at the end, which unfortunately they couldn't capitalise with. So on to the game at the Link Centre, which we just sort of alluded to a little bit during the Chelmsford game, that kind of got everybody's eyes in the league looking at their phones like, what?
Yeah, not even just in NHL 1. I was at the Oxford Rising Stars game and we were all like, what? Couldn't believe it. And actually I was like, me and my mum were talking about it. We didn't know whether to go to the Swindon game or not. And we didn't, because we thought Slough were going to run away with it, which they just did not.
No, but I mean, they certainly lulled everyone into a false sense of security.
Yes.
Alfie Goddard, terrific young player.
Yes.
Doing fantastic things at Swindon. Used to be a junior at Solent as well, I believe. Did really good things down there. Puts them up 12-46. They hold on for the rest of the period. They hold on for the second, and they go 2 up through Tom Ashmore before the second. And it's all the way to 55-11 until Slough get on the score sheet.
Yeah.
And at that point, in the other game, at that point, because I don't think Chelmsford actually led in that game after the initial opening goal. So at no point were they then ever up when Slough started to come back. But the two, massively full rosters, which is always great to see on a Sunday night. But if you look at the shot count, 49 shots from Slough is not as, I don't know what the word is.
Brutal as they have done to other teams. Yeah.
So Swindon were obviously defending quite resolutely.
But putting probably too much in defence, because they only have 12 shots themselves. But at the end of the day, it's not how many shots you have, it's how many shots that you score.
How many goals you score, from the shots.
From the shots. So, but it's just like the 55. Swindon are probably thinking, 5 minutes, we can hold on to this, put it at 2-1, you go 2-2, and I think that calls it at 2-2. And I know
2-0 is the most dangerous score in sport.
It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible, because that can, especially in ice hockey anything can happen within the space of 2 seconds in ice hockey. You could have 5 seconds left on the clock, you could lose, but you could be 2-0 up. It's really weird. But when it goes to 2-2, I think Slough knew that they had it.
Yeah.
They've got that mentality.
The goal was really well taken as well.
Yes.
Minter, really well taken. Again, that's quite a low scoring season for Jacob, actually, 6 goals thus far. Slough have been spreading them out. I know we shared a graphic this week of the top scorers, just their league points alone, which I don't actually think included this weekend. But they're all Slough, Chelmsford, Streatham, but they've been spread and mainly the top lines, to be fair. They've been spread across the top lines. So, which
is nice to see, because again, it's something different. It's not the same people, even though some of them are the same. You are seeing different talent.
Yeah, but so that double from Juha, 2 goals in the space of 2 minutes, bringing it back to 2-2. and then Jacob Minter taking the winner on a delayed penalty.
Yes.
Well, late into that game. So Charlie Turner, who was called for tripping, obviously never sat for it because they managed to get the goal with the extra man. So that kind of keeps it all firing up at the top of the league. Moving on to the final game, I think this was the first time in quite a while we've had all 8 teams in action on one day.
Action, yes.
Which is
I
nice
think it is.
But the 10-year anniversary for Cardiff Fire, they had a really big crowd down there, which is fantastic.
Yeah, it was so good to see.
Yeah, a lot of merchandise, T-shirts and pucks and hats and stuff like that with all the 10-year anniversary stuff on there. So massive shout to everyone at Cardiff for getting all that stuff out for the 10-year anniversary. Didn't quite go how they would have wanted, but by no means was it a do-over like has happened to them.
How it has happened. I think obviously they're definitely improving in a sense of they're not conceding so many goals as they were like a month or two back. But it's still just so hard for them. It's, especially when Invicta had lost the night before, they wouldn't want to be dropping points against Swindon and Cardiff in one weekend. But yeah, it's just one of them things. I think their place is set, and it's tricky. They don't have easy games coming up either. Cardiff.
No, they played hard. There were some great clips that did the rounds of some really good hits, some really good physical play, and the Craig Thurston goal was actually bloody lovely. I'd love to replay that. Not one that Nikolai Deval will enjoy, but he sat Nikolai down big time, sent him.
Yes.
So, yeah, that was really, really good to see. And just in general, actually, the social media for Cardiff was really good this weekend, getting a lot of that, in-game action, a lot of the stuff up in the stands from all the merch and everything. As we do go on about socials a little bit because it's the one free thing that the clubs can give back to the fans.
Of course. So, and Cardiff do it well. They always have done.
Do it well.
They always have done.
Yeah, little Chelmsford actually had stories during the Streatham game actually updating.
Yeah, really good.
Live, which was really, really good to see for people that weren't there. So that was really good to see as well. So yeah, we'll always shout out if it's good.
Of course.
And we'll always shout out if it's bad as well. We'll give it both ways. But yeah, I think Invicta Dynamos, like you say, they travel with that small side again. Pretty much, I think it's exactly the same lineup.
Exactly the same, yeah.
The night before, they work hard on the road. Colin and systems, they must be so difficult to implement when you've got such a small amount of players.
Well, I think where they've had such a small amount of players for so many games, they've probably made their own systems for 11, 12 skaters.
Yeah, you said that briefly, didn't you? They probably made things that work better with smaller amounts
of players, because that's what you've got to do. You've got to have a plan B there.
Yeah, and
so when
massive shouts out to the fitness of these boys.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it must be brutal. We thought we get to the episode with Seth Bennett later in the week, but we speak in there about the mentality and the physicality. These boys they're on it this year.
They're on it, yeah.
They've got to be physically in such good shape to play week in, week out with 2.5, 3 lines.
But Mads Toom getting another Hattie.
Yeah, he has been really good this year.
Yeah, underrated. I feel like because we've been told that we don't wax lyrical about Invicta. I always feel like I should.
It's a great phrase. It's a great turn of phrase that is, waxing lyrical. It really is good.
I don't know. He's just a name that we don't probably talk about enough, but he is just scoring so many goals. I mean, he's got 19 on the board this season, which is just great. But he's getting them in big amounts. He's always getting a hat trick, I feel. Or he's scoring 2. It's never just the 1. Yeah,
he does get it in. And I do like how it kind of. It's like a little Alice in Wonderland thing, the Mad Hatter. He's also a watchmaker, I think, actually, like in his profession, which is that's like an amazing little twist on it. But another 60 minutes under for Nikolai Deval. Not too far to travel for Rhys Evans this time to back up the Cardiff Canucks, but and a full 60 for Gemma Davis as well. 5 goals on 50 shots, so busy night for her.
Busy night for her as well.
On to next weekend then. We've got 6 fixtures across the weekend. 5 p.m, Silent Devils want for Buccaneers, as we said earlier. Prostate cancer charity game.
Yes. Blue
the rink down at Gosport, so go and get your tickets. Take something blue to wear, be it a hat or a jersey or anything you might have. I wouldn't suggest wearing a Leafs jersey because that just brings bad luck to everybody. I think most of them didn't come home from Milan and Catano. They're still there. There must be, because the Leafs are fucking terrible. But blew the rink for the Silent Devils and raised lots of funds and lots of awareness for prostate cancer. It is the cancer that kills the most men in the UK. Yeah. The stats in it are absolutely frightening, actually, of how quickly it happens. And particularly if you're around my age, don't be ashamed about getting yourself checked and stuff, because it creeps up on you really, really quickly, particularly when you're a bit older. So that's at 5 p.m. down at Gosport, and then massive game. We did just discuss before, we were both supposed to be there. You're actually not going to be there this week.
I'm not going to be there.
I'm going to be down at the hangar for 6:30 face-off between Slough Jets and Chelmsford Chieftains. Oh my fucking days, what a game.
I'm honestly gutted I can't go, but I can, but it might really do me in.
It will do you in.
It will probably do me in, but then I am used to it. I am just used to just plodding along.
I mean, we'll look at the league table a little bit once we've done the fixtures, but
yeah,
the gap is now 4 points. They're level on games, but the gap is 4 points. This is
must win for
negotiable for Chelmsford. It's must win.
It is must win, in regulation as well.
Yeah.
You cannot go to OT.
No, because we have this, the way that it's set out. I actually spoke about this on the very first episode of the season when the fixtures came out, and we did a little sort of half-hour live thing looking at all the fixtures. And I was like, yeah, everyone's starting here, starting there. And I was like, but hang on a minute. Look at the last game of the season at Chelmsford. And everyone was like, oh, my God, it's Chelmsford Slough on the last day of the season. We have to make it mean something.
Yes.
It cannot be a procession for the Slough Championship parade. We have to make it mean something that final day of the season, because that rink will be rammed. It will be sold out. It will be bouncy. It's already sold out for Sunday. The week after is the charity game against the Sun Devils. That will sell out as well. That game against Slough on the 22nd will be enormous, so we have to make it mean something.
Have to, absolutely have to.
Then 6:45 at the Vindico Arena, Cardiff Fire against the Streatham Redhawks. It's a long old trip on the Saturday, but we'd expect Streatham to go down there.
And this is another reason why Chelmsford is a must-win, because Streatham are only 4 points behind them.
Yeah.
So they don't want to go from potentially winning the league to being third.
No.
Like that.
No. And you'd think then that, Streatham would take 3 points from Cardiff.
Yeah.
On the Saturday, and then into the Sunday, another sellout game at the Riverside as the Chieftains welcome the Romford Buccaneers. At 6 p.m. face-off there, and then another huge game at the High Road, 6 p.m. for Streatham Redhawks versus Slough Jets. So this is where it can all kind of take. If Streatham take a 6 point weekend, Chelmsford take a 6 point weekend, and Slough take a 0 point weekend, it's all up in the air again.
Yeah, everyone's just mixed completely, which, do you know what? Bloody love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And this is, people go on about, you're North Hockey, South Hockey. Your league's over. You ain't got this drama.
No, and you know what? The drama's good. The drama is so good.
I
would rather, even if I was supporting a team, I'd rather wait till the last day of the season, last match, how important that would be. And it's the excitement, it's the atmosphere. There's probably, I wouldn't say there's no atmosphere in the North games now. There's nothing to fight for.
No.
Other than obviously playoff.
Yeah, but I mean, I can have a look briefly for the league table there, but I don't think there's a great deal
it's not close.
Stuff moving. No, it's not. Pretty much everyone kind of knows who they're going to play there. I think 7 of the 8 teams have now qualified. That's been confirmed.
Exactly. So there's nothing to fight for.
No, and obviously you could say, we've only got 8 teams down here and they've all qualified. Yeah, but we're now via position.
Who do I want to play in the playoffs?
Yeah, or who do I want to avoid? More to the point. But the idea that we've got this draw, and looking at last year, obviously we had the Slough and Streatham were going toe to toe. Chelmsford were in there until the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, and then Streatham went down to Invicta and lost after beating Slough in Slough. It's like, oh my God, it's all going. And then that final day when Slough had to beat Cardiff at home in regulation, and you think, they're going to beat Cardiff. It was 0-0 till like the 45th minute of the game.
I know. Honestly, no one could believe it.
And that's exactly what makes sport entertaining, and that's why these games are getting sold out all the time, and people from Talk Sport are getting involved. And obviously we've got the Buckleys involved at Chelmsford, and it's just all great exposure for the league.
Of course it is.
So then one more game on the Sunday. Not normally a nice trip for the Solent Devils, actually.
It's not, no. And
They do struggle on that Sunday night trip to Cardiff.
They do indeed, but I think it all depends how their Saturday night game goes.
Yeah, because
I think that really matters.
It does. And like you say, if they're looking down the barrel at a 6-point weekend, if they can get that victory over Romford on the Saturday night, they've then got to look at that Cardiff game as this is must win, because we want to finish as high as we possibly can in the league. And
with Swindon not playing this upcoming weekend, they could go back into 5th.
Yeah.
So it's like, honestly, it's so dramatic.
Yeah. And by the end of this weekend, Swindon, Romford, Solent will all be on the same amount of games.
Yeah.
Romford will be on one more. But they could find themselves one more game ahead, but down in 7th.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Being able to do anything about it. It's so tight. It's really exciting.
To think you've got big gaps like 21 and I can't do the maths. 19 between 8th and 7th and 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
That 5th, 6th and 7th place, it's so dependent as well for the top 3 teams, because the top 4 teams really, because you don't know who you're playing in the playoffs.
No. And as it's worked out, over the last couple of years, the teams playing each other in the playoffs tend to play each other in the last couple of games of the season as well. Yeah. So then you don't want to show your hand too early for how you're going to play in the playoffs or anything. So, yeah, it's really, really exciting.
It is exciting.
We'll look at that league table from top to bottom then. And the Slough Jets currently sitting top. They've played 24, won 19, 1 overtime win, 1 overtime loss, 3 defeats and 60 points. Chelmsford Chieftains then have played 24, won 17, overtime wins, 2, overtime loss, 1, lost 4 games, 56 points, so 4 points back, 11 on games, but they have to play each other twice. Streatham Redhawks are in 3rd. They've got a game in hand, 23 points. They've won 16, 1 overtime win, 2 overtime losses, 4 defeats, 52 points. So with that game in hand, should they win that would then put them a point behind Chelmsford. As we said, this weekend is so important.
It's so important.
And then in 4th, the Invicta Dynamos. They've played 26. They've won 14. 1 overtime win, 1 overtime loss, 10 defeats, 45 points. And then, as you said, it's a 19-point drop back to 5th. So that top 4 those will be the top 4. We just don't know what order yet.
Yeah. We know who 4th will be.
Yeah, Invicta will be 4th.
Invicta will be 4th. But it's that top 3. And that could be anyone.
Yeah, it could be anyone. So in 6th, beg your pardon, 5th is the Swindon Wildcats. They've played 25. They've won 8, 1 overtime win, no overtime losses, 16 defeats, conceded 100 goals come up on this weekend as well, which the 100th of those was Jacob Minter's winner for Slough. So that's a gut punch, that one. 26 points. Just behind them, Romford Buccaneers. They've played 24. They've won 8, lost 16, 24 points. And then Solent Devils played 23, won 6, 1 overtime win, 3 overtime losses and 13 defeats, 23 points. And then sitting in 8th position of the Cardiff Fire, played 23, won none, 1 overtime win, no overtime losses and 22 defeats. 23 goals for, 183 against, although goal difference is never a thing in hockey, really.
No, it's not a thing. It's just sort of stat that's there.
And whatnot. So, yeah, that playoff bracket at the moment... Cardiff Fire will play the eventual champions in the playoffs, which is currently sitting there as Slough Jets. And then the other quarterfinal on that half would be Invicta versus Swindon. The winners of those would then face off for a place in the Steel City Showdown. And it currently sits as Chelmsford Chieftains versus Solent Devils and Streatham Redhawks against Romford Buccaneers. And then the winner of those two would play 2 legs to go off to the Steel City Showdown.
Which I'm bloody excited for.
Yeah. Every time I think about it, I get really excited, and I'm like, I'm not going to.
Not even going.
Yeah, it's shit. But yeah, I better win something that weekend at golf. I'll tell you, I better.
I'm going to get angry messages. I've won nothing all day. I'm on my way to Sheffield for Sunday.
I'm not a million miles away, actually. I'm in Daventry, so I'm not a million miles away from Sheffield.
I don't know where's Daventry?
It's near Coventry. It's about 20 minutes from Coventry.
Oh, you've had shit Saturday of golf. Just come up for the Sunday.
The problem is I don't think I'm fit to drive a golf buggy, let alone a car. When I'm at golf, I think that's half the problem. But, another cracking, couple of weeks after the Cup final on that. It's just, yeah. And as we said with Seth, that interview coming out later this week, just, it's so entertaining.
It is so entertaining. And again, sorry about last week, guys. It's just life got in the way for sort of both of us.
It happens. And the next time that I do get Smits on the phone, I will 100%
actually record it.
Make sure it records. That's because, fair play to him. Gave up, a few minutes of his time during the day to speak to me. So we had a nice chat, and he said some, really, really great little sound bites and everything that would have been really great to put out. But yeah, technology, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Kind of got in the way. So for next week's episode, we are currently looking at getting other guests booked in. We're looking at, I think, the week before the last game of the season that we might be having Ben Clements on from Chelmsford, which will be a really, really good guest. Clem's, proper legend of this level of hockey. He was at Chelmsford for years. He's obviously now behind the bench as well. Maybe we can probe him as to what's going to be going on once Cliff has made his way out of Chelmsford as well. So that will be really interesting. And then I think because we're getting so busy with games and that, we're probably going to dial it back a little bit on guests unless something really, really special comes up.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll try and make sure that we get through all the ones that we announced that we were going to do, which I'm pretty sure the only one on that list that we haven't done so far is Ty Cathcart.
Yes.
Which we said we would give a little bit of a break because he went on the Basingstoke Bison podcast as well. So we, like to give a little bit of a break. But doing the guest stuff has been really fun, but it's been I
really enjoy doing the guest stuff because it's different. Because obviously what we do weekly is very much the same, just talking about the same stuff, we make the same points, but talking to so many different people and from different ways how people are linked to hockey. I don't know, it just opens my eyes actually to the world of ice hockey.
Yeah, and I think one thing that probably I struggled with it more because obviously I've been doing this just on my own for a while was allow that bit of silence and allow you to come in and ask a question. Right, because I know the first couple of guests we had, I was just like, blah, 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 blah.
I know. And you're like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's okay. Because as well, like with the first few guest episodes, like I sort of like, if I do listen to it back or watch them back, I'm like, I can tell I just started doing it, if that makes sense. Like I definitely started talking more recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was sort of a thing of just let Ben do the talking, just sit here. But now I'm like, I want to know about these people.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like I say, the Seth Bennett episode is terrific.
It's really interesting.
We'll definitely have a 2.0 at some point with Seth because
I feel like all the guests we've had this year were like 2.0.
Yeah, I think what doesn't really help, I think, is because our Zoom cuts out after 40 minutes, that we end up going back, and then I feel like we might miss something. But the idea of having these really long-form conversations is something I meant to bring up when we were at the Essex Podcast Festival, and it was in the top of my mind, and I never actually got the phrase out, because I said something about this last year as well, that this is not just, what I wanted it to be as like a media hub for the league, and the media hub for the fans of all the clubs in the league if they need to know things and they want to or learn things. We've been told by so many people that they've learned more about the game through listening, which has been terrific. But what we've done for the people that, as Seth says, which you'll hear later this week, that give up so much time to be a part of this sport, which you and your mum obviously know as being volunteers and involved in the club. We have created a digital legacy. Especially for the players, the players that have been on the podcast, and we've shared, clips of their goals or their highlight reels and whatnot. That's there forever.
Of course it is, yeah.
And as they get older and they have, kids and grandkids and stuff, they can say, look what I do.
Yeah.
For me to be a part of that, I absolutely love.
Yeah, like I've always loved doing social media. Social media's always been my thing. Since I've got an Instagram account, it's just, I love just being on social media. So, and as well, filming sports. I love sports. So why wouldn't I want to film it? I've always been someone to be on their phone filming. So to film someone score a goal and, it gives me content to post, but it also sort of gives them to show, it gives them something to show, which is exactly what you said. It's just nice.
Yeah, and Cardiff Canucks were nice enough to share out your video.
Yeah, it's completely my fault. I actually, they're probably not listening, but I was supposed to send them all the ones, but the amount of videos I have of ice hockey, a game could be the Slough-Streatham game, 3 goals were scored. When I tell you probably 150 videos were taken that night. like going through the videos and making sure I don't delete the good ones or the ones that have the goals in is the longest thing ever. So I just sort of I forget about going through them and like, crap, they've posted it and I haven't sent them the videos.
No, well, I am nowhere near up at your level of doing that sort of stuff. So people, please don't expect that from Saturday at Slough Chelmsford, because I will not be videoing by the glass. I will be, I'll be in my ZPG jersey and I'll be with the Chelmsford fans, but. I know, because you were going to have words as well with Alistair Gammon, because we put out this post as well, having a little bit of fun about and our sort of choices for hockey warm-up songs and whatnot. And so far, no one said that you win.
Maybe it's the youth. The youth need to be a bit more vocal and say that I'm winning.
To be fair, there's a lot of comments that Thunderstruck is a tune, because obviously it's just a massive
It was just,
anthem.
as soon as you said it, I was like, Thunderstruck, obviously, like everyone knows it, everyone's thinking it. It's probably because it's a typical one that people will probably look at it like, yeah, of course it is. But there were so many, like I was trying to look through like my own playlist, because I mean, if you can't tell, I love rock music. Rock music is very much, I think, part of ice hockey. But yeah, I was just looking at so many and I was just thinking, I actually don't know.
It's difficult, isn't it? And
it's so hard.
My third choice, Ennett Shikari, Sorry You're Not a Winner, I've actually never heard it played at an ice rink.
No.
But it would go down so well with the clap and stuff like that in it. For me, it's just, I've followed that band for, since 2003. So it's, they're one of my favourites. And that song, I just think is a great crowd pleaser. But, and it's apparently now cool to like Nickelback. So whereas when I was your age, it was not cool to like.
See, sort of with my choices was obviously Thunderstruck's just a tune. Red Hot Chili Peppers, always loved them, and I just think can't stop. Like it was when I started doing like the highlights of City Stars games, I was like, cannot wait to use that song, because it just reminds me of hockey. Like I don't know what it is, it just does. I mean, like you said, I don't really hear it at rinks being played much, but I know a lot of like. I love watching sports like alongside Red Hot Chili Peppers music. And then Sweet Disposition, the only reason I put that on there was a little personal reason. That was the first song I remember being played at Oxford Ice Rink when City Stars were skating out, and since that I just love that song.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
well, the Frankie Goes Hollywood Two Tribes thing that's a Chieftains thing.
Yeah.
So that's the very first time me and Josh went to Chieftains, and I remember they turned the lights off and they put the Alan Parsons project on, the serious thing like from the Chicago Bulls, and then it all builds and then it's two traps and proper gets you going.
Yeah, so it was just like one of them things. Maybe not everyone's got the same cup of tea as me, but
that's the best thing about music. That is literally
I love it.
The best thing about music. I just like good music. I mean, if you were to pin me, I'm a metalhead, but I just like good music. I like rock and roll from the 50s. I like a little bit of opera. I like a little bit of classical as well. And I
can see you in the car doing all of the
Well, I do this thing. I really annoy my wife. We'll sit there watching telly, and there'll be like something like music in an advert, or and it's normally classical pieces. They're all in there, and I'll be like, oh, that's such and such. She'll be like, how do you know that? I'm like, I just do. And then they do this thing where they fact check me. Because there's this real funny thing amongst my friends and my group where they call Ben Hyde facts. When I will spout a fact, and they'll all look at me and go, nah. And they have to check it. And there has been a couple of times where I've been wrong, and I never, ever live it down.
But no, like you said, it's a good thing with music. I pretty much like everything. Put a tune on. If it's a tune, I'll be there jamming.
Yeah, and like you say, music at hockey, I think it just helps create the experience.
Yeah, of course it does.
And that game night experience, music is just a massive part of it in hockey. And
of course it is.
We can all give it all, Thunderstruck and Bomb and Chelsea Dagger. We all still have the YMCA.
Yeah, whack it on.
Right then, well, that's it. We're dialed in for this week. I won't see you Saturday, but anyone comes and sees us Saturday in Slough, come up and say hello.
Don't say that, because you might.
No, come on, don't go. You've got plans. Don't go ruining yourself for one game.
It's a good game, though.
It is a good game, and I need my retribe hat. Nick, she's keeping hold of my hat.
Stealing it.
I will see you next week then, mate.
See you next week.